Welcome to the 2020 Scholarship Awards. We've all heard it 1,000 times. Hard work pays off. The students being recognized tonight have surely learned this lesson and have demonstrated it through their work ethic and academic accomplishments, which we will acknowledge this evening. We congratulate all of the students who will receive awards and thank you for joining us in celebrating their accomplishments.
Good evening. We will begin tonight's awards program with the Art Department. The Art Department Award is presented to the senior art students who have shown the most use of their creative imagination in their art project ideas. This year's recipients are Mika Adams, Kiana Walker, and Tegan Willie. The Troy Fine Arts Council Award is presented to an outstanding senior artist to encourage them to continue working at their craft. This year's recipient is Hunter Johnson. The Bradford County Regional Arts Council Arts Excellence Award is presented to a senior student who has participated and excelled in at least 2 arts-related activities. This year's recipient is Katrina Roof. Now we will proceed with the Athletic Department awards. The United States Marine Corps Distinguished Athlete Award is presented to a male and female student athlete that has demonstrated strong character in the following categories: courage to do what is right and hold others accountable, poise of mind to handle any situation under stress and pressure, self-confidence to inspire teammates to excel to the best of their abilities, leadership to bring the team together to work towards a common goal. These are the attributes that Marines use day in and day out, on and off the battlefield, to ensure that the mission is accomplished. This year's recipients are Madigan Allen and Blake Templeton. The Jack Young Memorial Scholarship is presented to the senior football player who best displays his dedication to and love for football. This year's recipient is Blake Templeton. The U.S. Army Reserve National Scholar Athlete Award is presented to a female and a male student who has earned a varsity letter and has demonstrated a strong academic performance well above average. This year's recipients are Courtney Dunn and Tyler Hawley. The Baseball Sportsman Award is presented to a senior baseball team member who inspires his teammates to put forth their best efforts. This year, the award goes to Skylar Allen. The Jack McCarthy Golf Memorial Award is presented to a senior golf team member who has good sportsmanship and humor. This year's recipient is Tyler Hawley. Now we move on to the Business Department Awards. The Lesco Financial Services Future Business Leaders of America Award is presented to a graduating senior student who has leadership ability, good grades, is furthering his or her education, and who has made a strong contribution to the future business leaders of America. This year's recipient is Noah Pohl. The Lesco Financial Services Cooperative Education Award is presented to a senior cooperative education student that has developed job readiness skills to the highest level. This year, the award goes to Tenley Ferris. And we will now proceed to the Drama Department Award. Mr. and Mrs. John J. Moore Sr. Award. Jay's wife, Cassandana, established the award in 1959 after his death. Jay grew up in New York City in the theater district because an aunt, Jane Tabby, and her husband, vaudevillians, took over his care at 10 years of age. His father, a doctor in Syracuse, New York, had died during an 1898 epidemic before his birth. His mother died 10 years later. His interest in art and theater had deep roots. Towanda enjoyed little theater productions in the 30s and 40s thanks to Jay and Cassandana's assistance. Their son, Jay Moore III, went on to study drama at Syracuse University. Jay displayed his talent on Broadway as a scenic and art director of plays such as Sweet Charity and Superman. He also worked as an art director in films such as Sophie's Choice, Betsy's Wedding, Ghostbusters, and others. After Cassandana's death, their daughter and son-in-law, Polly and Marshall Dawsey, continued to sponsor this award to recognize the exceptional talent of THS students of drama and the theater. This award is presented to the students who have made the greatest contribution in dramatics during their time in high school. This year's recipients are Madigan Allen and Lucy Fink. And now we move to the Math and Science Department Awards. The Global Tungsten and Powders Corporation Math and Science Award is presented to 2 members of the senior class of Towanda Junior-Senior High School who show the greatest proficiency and promise in science and mathematics. This year's recipients are Leanne Cretell and Noah Pohl. The U.S. Air Force Math and Science Award is presented to a senior student for outstanding academic achievement in mathematics and science. This year's recipient is Erica Locke. The Dr. Charles Manley Rockman Award is presented to a student who has done outstanding in physics. This year, the award goes to Noah Pohl. The Richard L. Carson Chemistry Award is presented to a student who has outstanding achievement in chemistry. This year's recipient is Erica Locke. The DuPont Sciences, Engineering, and Mathematics Scholarship is presented to a student who has significant promise and potential, who has demonstrated a sincere interest and promise in science, math, or engineering, and who plans to pursue a 4-year college degree in one of those fields. This year's recipients are Emily Carr, Leanne Cretell, Derek Harrington, Lance Lines, and Kagan Stroop. Now we move to the Music Department Awards. The Musical Excellence Award is presented to a senior band member with intentions of attending a college or university and through their efforts has exceeded their natural ability. This year's recipient is Dominic Tavani. The John Philip Sousa Band Award is an optional award a high school band director may award to one of his or her students. It is restricted to 1 per school per year. The award recognizes superior musicianship, loyalty, and teamwork. This year's recipient is Lucy Fink. The USMC Semper Fidelis Award for Musical Excellence is presented by the United States Marine Corps and the National Band Association to the senior who is recommended by his or her band director as the outstanding senior bands person in the high school. The recipient must be a high school senior, hold a first chair position in the band, be capable of performing as a soloist, and be recognized as both an outstanding performer and as a truly outstanding young citizen. This year's recipient is Hunter Johnson. The Towanda Music Department Esprit de Corps Award is presented to a senior from band and chorus who has continuously contributed their time, talent, and efforts for the overall good of the music department. This does not necessarily have to be through musical contributions, but from someone who has ultimately enhanced the cohesion and morale of the music department by providing steadfast support to our music teachers and music students. This year's recipients are Coleman Butler and Lucy Fink. The Marjorie S. Coolball Award, sponsored by the Towanda Musical Society, is presented to a senior boy and girl possessing outstanding musical ability and who has contributed most musically to the school. This year's recipients are Coleman Butler and Madeline Risley. The Towanda Music Boosters Award is presented by the Towanda Music Boosters to students of the senior class who have shown exceptional cooperation and interest of a student or students in the music field. This year's recipients are Emily Carr and Max Vega. The National School Choral Award is presented to an exceptional leader of the choir who has been especially helpful and has gone above and beyond the expectations of the group. This year, the award goes to Lily Rice. The Director's Award for Exceptional Progress in Music is presented to the student who has continuously used the available resources offered in the music department to apply themselves to reach new levels of music development. This year, the award goes to Lily Rice. The Fred Watson Music Award is presented to a graduating senior student who has been the most outstanding musician throughout the 4 years of high school. This year's recipient is Noah Pohl. Florence Place Memorial Scholarship. Mrs. Place spent her entire life sharing her gift of music with youth and adults as a public school music teacher, university professor, piano teacher, and choir director. She insisted on musical excellence and worked to instill a love of music and performance in all of her students. Florence Place was born with the gift of perfect pitch. She was highly educated and trained in some of the most prestigious institutions, including Juilliard, Columbia University, and Westminster Choir College. The senior who receives this award should exemplify those characteristics that Florence Place possessed and valued. It is presented to a senior who excels in music, preferably in the area of voice and/or piano. The student selected for this award must demonstrate a willingness to share the gift of music and his/her innate talent with others in the school and community. This year's recipient is Lucy Fink. The Senate of Pennsylvania Good Citizenship Award is awarded for the qualities of good citizenship through their display of outstanding character, leadership, scholarship, and a willingness to accept responsibility and challenges. This year we have 2 recipients, and they are Emily Carr and Madeline Risley. The President's Education Award is presented to students in recognition of outstanding academic achievement. This year's recipients are Johnny Lee Abrams, Madigan Allen, Shaylin Carl, Brianna Carlin, Emily Carr, Hannah Chandler, Leanne Cretell, Zoe Jakowski, Emily Dunn, Courtney Dunn, Lucy Fink, Derek Harrington, Alexis Harris, Tanner Kunkel, Lance Lines, Erica Locke, Taylor Marshall, Timothy Morrison, Georgiana Mosier, Janae Overpeck, Noah Pohl, Katrina Roof, Maya Sarno, Mara Sarno, Natalie Stanton, Kagan Stroop, Blake Templeton, Kiana Walker, Tegan Willie, Trevor Wills, Dominic Wood, and Madeline Risley. And now we move on to the portion of our evening for the Scholarship Committee Awards. The Betty Morris and Joey Herman Scholarship is presented to students who reside in Monroe Borough, Monroe Township, or Franklin Township, and who will be furthering his or her education. This year's recipients are Alex Daum and Layson Terry. The Towanda Teen House Award is presented to a senior student who plans to further his or her education at a vocation technical institution of higher learning, majoring in a vocation. This year's recipient is Marisha Bennett. The Towanda Area High School Scholarship is presented to a senior who is furthering his or her education. This year, the award goes to Tanner Kunkel. The Spirit of Community Award is presented to students who demonstrate a strong commitment to school and community activities and an enthusiasm for giving back to others. This year's recipients are Ben DeGudis, Evan Haggerty, Tim Morrison, and Natalie Stanton. Making It Count Scholarship is awarded to a senior who will be attending a post-secondary institution upon completion of high school with the aspirations of striving for college and career success. This year's recipients are Marisha Bennett, Derek Harrington, Hunter Johnson, and Taylor Marshall. The Towanda American Legion Scholarship is presented to a deserving high school senior planning to further his or her education. This year, the award goes to Raylyn Slater. The Felix Mike Mickus Scholarship is presented by the Towanda Rotary Club to a deserving Towanda area high school senior. Applicants must be in the top 25% of their class and be accepted into an accredited post-secondary school. This year, the award goes to Kagan Stroop. The Alex Grossberg Award is presented to a graduating senior who has definite plans to further his or her academic or vocational education and whose academic standards have improved most during the senior year. This year's recipient is Kelsey Lance. The Naiad Linta Fire Company Scholarship is presented to a graduating high school senior in the Towanda Area School District. He or she must be planning to further his or her education at an accredited college, university, or trade school. Does not have to be at the top of the class, should be a good citizen, an asset in the community, can be enrolled in any major. However, if they are in a fire science program, they will be given preference. This year's recipient is Kiana Walker. The Ryan Hedrick Memorial Award is presented to a senior who will pursue a medical or related career. The person selected should exemplify the qualities of a loving concern for their fellow man, a dedication to their chosen field, and be motivated to the service of easing pain, both physical and emotional. This year, the award goes to Janae Overpeck. The Student Loan Association Scholarship is presented to a Towanda High School student in the last semester of high school, in the upper half of the class, and who has been accepted for admission at a recognized school or college. This year's recipient is Johnny Lee Abrams. The McCarthy Family Scholarship was started in 2008 by Doreen Secor and Diane Place to honor their father and mother, Jack and Judy McCarthy. The McCarthys were teachers who spent their lives teaching in Towanda. They both possessed a strong work ethic and sense of community. The family asked that this $1,000 scholarship be awarded to a deserving student who is goal-oriented, hardworking, and demonstrates care and concern for the community. This scholarship may be awarded to a student pursuing any kind of post-high school training. This year, the recipient is Lance Lines. The Towanda Senior Citizens Club Scholarship is presented to a Towanda High School graduate planning to enter an accredited 2-year or 4-year program at a college or university, or a 2-year technical school degree program. The applicant must have a C or better academic achievement, show proven leadership characteristics, participates in school extracurricular activities, and have been involved in community programs. This year, the award goes to Katrina Roof. The Saul and Florence Spatunik Memorial Award is presented to a graduating senior who is outstanding in citizenship, has a concern for others, good conduct and character, and has displayed leadership in keeping other youths out of trouble. This year's recipient is Emily Dunn. The Winter Memorial Trust Award is presented annually to a graduate of Towanda Area High School who will attend an approved school of higher education. This individual must have good character and citizenship and must have participated in community service to a high degree. This year's recipient is Maya Sarno. The Charles R. Wolf Memorial Scholarship. Dr. Charles R. Wolf graduated from Towanda High School. He did undergraduate work at Albright College and graduated from Temple Medical School in Philadelphia. He did his residency at Robert Packer Hospital in radiology and was certified by the American Board of Radiology. Dr. Wolf was in family practice in Dewshore and Towanda for 7 years. He later became the chief of radiology at Towanda Memorial Hospital, an associate radiologist at the Arnott Ogden Hospital in Elmira, New York, and a consultant at the Robert Packer Hospital in Sayre. Dr. Wolf was a dedicated physician who always found time for his patients and his family. In the summer of 2004, the Memorial Hospital dedicated its newly upgraded radiology department in memory of Dr. Wolf. This award is presented to a senior who is pursuing his or her education in the field of medicine. Scholarship and character will be the qualities that must be exemplified. This year's recipient is Erica Locke. The TAEA Scholarship is presented to a student from Towanda High School who is furthering his or her education in the field of teaching. This year's recipient is Johnny Lee Abrams. The Diane McCarthy Place Education Scholarship is presented in memory of Dr. Diane McCarthy Place to a female pursuing a post-secondary degree in education. This year the award goes to Lucy Fink. The Francis P. Douglas Memorial Scholarship is presented to a graduating senior from Towanda Junior Senior High School who exemplifies the following qualities: a firm sense of morality, always attempting to choose the high road, a commitment to public service, a commitment to pursue higher education, one who is regarded by most in their environment as a friend, a strong sense of patriotism, demonstrates a sense of responsibility or duty to helping those in need, willingness to commit to an objective or cause in which they believe, demonstrate a commitment to family life and conservative family values. This year's recipient is Madeline Risley. The Kelly Lederer Memorial Award is presented to a graduating high school senior pursuing a post-secondary training in any trade offered at the Northern Tier Career Center. For example, health assistant, medical office technology, automotive collision repair, building construction, auto mechanics, diesel engine mechanics, computer technology, cosmetology, food preparation, precision machining, HVAC, and welding technology. Applicants must have a cumulative GPA of 2.0 or higher and be accepted at an accredited college or trade school. This year's recipient is Sophia Johnson. The Epstein Family Scholarship is presented to graduating high school seniors furthering his or her education. This year, the award goes to Madigan Allen and Madeline Risley. The Michelle Geiger Memorial Scholarship. Michelle Geiger was an elementary teacher in the Towanda school system for over 32 years. She had a true love for teaching. She passed away on February 11, 2019 from cancer. She had an infectious smile and laugh. She felt that school should be fun and all children should have the opportunity to learn. Michelle enjoyed her students and wanted to help them reach their highest potential. She would want to assist and encourage any young person to pursue their passion for teaching, as Michelle did with her own first grade team. Her family wants Michelle Geiger's legacy to continue. This year's recipient is Shaylin Carl. The Dave McWilliams Mr. Mack Memorial Award is given by the McWilliams family to the senior who shows compassion and brings hope to his or her peers. They express the fruit of the Spirit as spoken in Galatians 5:22 and 23. The fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, long-suffering, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. These qualities were the essence of who Dave McWilliams was. This year's recipient is Dominic Tavani. The Towanda Lions Club Award is presented for outstanding community service. This year, the award goes to Emily Carr. The Shaw Brothers Award is presented in memory of Howard H. Shaw and in honor of William Bill Shaw and Jack Shaw, who all graduated from Towanda High School. Their father passed away when they were young boys, and their mother passed away when they were in high school. Howard and Bill worked and retired from GTE Sylvania. However, they made sure that their younger brother Jack was the first in their family of 7 to attend and graduate from college despite the death of both their parents. This award is being presented to a graduating senior who has also lost a parent and despite this great loss intends to obtain a college degree. This year's recipient is Katrina Roof. The Outstanding Student Award is presented to a student who has demonstrated success through a commitment to academics and has a strong work ethic. This year's recipient is Noah Pohl. The Barbara North Shaw Memorial Award. Barbara North Shaw was a teacher in the Towanda School District for 23 years. Her commitment to teaching and her dedication to her students, colleagues, and friends touched many people's lives in Towanda. This award is being presented to a graduating senior who has chosen to pursue a bachelor's degree and who has demonstrated a commitment to others through their involvement in extracurricular and community activities. This year, the award goes to Derek Harrington. The Harold S. Williams Memorial Award is presented to a student who exemplifies an interest and talent in the general business field. This year's recipient is Blake Templeton. The Muriel S. Robinson Browning Memorial Scholarship is presented to a student graduating from Towanda Junior-Senior High School who plans to continue his or her education toward a baccalaureate degree or a post-secondary vocational or technical school certificate. The student must reside in the geographical location of the Towanda Township School, where she dedicated her 40 years of professional service in the field of education. This year's recipient is Tenley Ferris. The USMC Scholastic Excellence Award is presented to a student for academic achievement and leadership as a high school scholar. It's presented to an exemplary young citizen and a role model for younger students. This year's recipient is Noah Pohl. The Harold Q. Sherman Annual Business Scholarship. Mr. Sherman worked in the accounting department at Sylvania Plant here in Towanda for many years. He started this award during his lifetime and took great pride and joy in witnessing the students at Towanda High School benefit from his scholarship. After his passing in 2011, he chose to continue his scholarship by way of a trust he established under his last will and testament naming Citizens and Northern Bank as trustee. Mr. Sherman requested that this scholarship be awarded annually to a senior student graduating in the business curriculum who is continuing his or her education in at least a 2-year institution. The recipient must also have a high potential for success. This individual will receive a $5,000 scholarship. This year's recipient is Mara Sarno. The Joseph Every Scholarship. Mr. Every was a bachelor who owned a construction business in the Troy area. He never had any children of his own, but he had a desire to help hardworking students get a start on their college careers. Prior to his passing in 2005, he created a trust under his last will and testament and named Citizens and Northern Bank as the trustee. His intent for this trust is to help area students by providing scholarships to well-deserving seniors graduating from public and non-public high schools in Bradford and Tioga counties, in PA and Chemung County in New York. It was Mr. Every's wish to give preference to those students pursuing a career in the field of medicine and to those who expressed an interest in becoming a teacher. He requested that special consideration be given to those students exhibiting a high level of ambition and showing the potential to contribute positively to society. Because of Mr. Every's forethought and philanthropic nature, $182,000 was awarded in scholarships this year alone. Since the inception of this trust 13 years ago, nearly $2.1 million has been awarded, assisting nearly 300 students. It is a pleasure to present the Joseph R. Every Scholarship in the amount of $10,000 each to Emily Carr and Erica Locke. The Robert L. Bennett Scholarship. It is a privilege to honor the late Robert L. Bennett by presenting his annual scholarship. Mr. Bennett was a prominent attorney in the Towanda area for many years. By way of his last will and testament, he established a trust and named Citizens and Northern Bank as the trustee. His trust provides scholarships for outstanding male students graduating from Towanda High School. The recipients of this scholarship will share $23,600 over a 4-year period. This year's recipients are Derek Harrington, Tanner Kunkel, Tim Morrison, and Noah Pohl. We would like to extend our sincere gratitude to all of those with us this evening who represent loved ones in whose memory gifts have been given. On behalf of our award recipients, we would like to say thank you for your generous gifts. Congratulations and best wishes to all of our senior award winners. We're very proud of you.
In closing, thank you for joining us this evening. While we would have preferred to host this program in person, it shouldn't take away from the fact that you have been committed to working diligently throughout your high school career, and for that you should be proud. Congratulations from all of us here at Towanda Junior Senior High School. Take pride in how far you've come. Have faith in how far you can go. But don't forget to enjoy the journey. Good evening.